What a deck!
Hello and welcome back to What a Deck, the most innovative Yu-Gi-Oh show of all time. I'm your host, Hardleg Joe, and today we're playing Trap Monster Stun 2021. Also known as Doctor Who, because we've got a cast of time travelers and some creepy angel statues. What more could you possibly want? Well, you could possibly want a deck profile, in which case you'll find it down in the description. It's a separate, shorter video where I just go over everything in here, explain all my reasoning, and you'll probably want to check that out because this deck can be kind of tricky, kind of weird. There's lots of synergies there. And in this video, I'm just going to be playing 10 duels against random opponents on YGOPro, testing this out, showing you how it plays, and hopefully we'll have a little fun. This is unusual. So I'm playing against my arch nemesis player, whose name is actually Arch Nemesis Player, which they at least know who I am. Like, they know of the Hardleg channel. The question is, do they know it's actually me? Have they guessed my name? I change my name every episode so that I don't go against the people that like the show. Because sometimes they try too hard, and sometimes they don't try too hard enough. Okay. We're going to go for... what do we want to do this time? I think we want to go for Regulator. We're going to Regulator. I tell you what. And then we're going to set. We're going to set. And we are going to set, baby. We've got all the sets in the world. Let's try this. Let's go ahead and activate Angel Stature Azaroon. If you don't know, this is Solemn Judgment on... or no, sorry, not Solemn Judgment. Solemn Warning on legs. It negates special summons by attributing a trap monster, which it itself is. Although I could also summon this one and tribute it off. Yeah, that's fine. So we've got two disruptions right here. We've got a special summon negate, and we've got a monster steal. And if we could survive both of those, we'll be in pretty good condition. So like that's something we're just gonna wanna get rid of. Be like, nah, I ain't going out that way. Crusadia? No. No, I ain't being that. Okay, end turn. So we're going to... So we know they're playing hand traps, right? And they have quite enough. This thing summons 2 from the deck. But if it gets hand trapped, we're screwed. Alternatively, we could activate this, summon this, and that would be much safer. But we'd have much less resources for the future. Let's go the dangerous route. Let's try to live dangerously, shall we? Hope for no Ash Blossom. Alright, so we can get Winder and Adjuster. These both have effects when summoned. This inserts a Time Thief card, and this dumps one from the deck to the graveyard. So we're going to dump Temp Waller, and we're going to search Flyback, because we've already got 2 of the counter trap. So Temp Waller is interesting because it can return a card, a Time Thief card, to the hand to special summon itself. Which means we can summon this again next turn and get more searches. Advantage City. Well, we're just going to make Time Thief Redoer. We're going to redo our Time Thieves and attack for 2,400. This is a interesting card. It gains effects when it has a trap monster as material. Is this once per turn? Yeah, so there's no point really in setting both at the moment. So the idea generally is to summon these trap monsters and then use those as material. Which, again, we could have done, except for we had the doggo. Let's go ahead and steal the top card of our opponent's deck, see what we get. Just another monster. Alright. What will you activate? Another Pot of Desires. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to retrograde. That will negate it and equip it. Because he gains effects when he has different types. And then we're going to use Flyback. Flyback is going to allow us to attach a card from our deck, so we'll put Flyback on it. And so now we have a monster spell and a trap attached to this, which is the best of both worlds. The best of all worlds. Alright, they're going with the Dark Ruler no more, which is unfortunate because that'll negate. We can't activate a monster in response to this. We can summon a trap in response to this, and then we can activate this in response to the trap. It's unfortunate that we lose our trap, but by detaching a spell and a monster, we'll be able to draw a card and tag out for a turn, so that we don't risk our boss monster being lost. Assuming they can't OTK us through this defense wall, which they can't with Dark Ruler no more, this will come back, and then we have the means to give it more material and stuff. The question is, will they run over this with their dang old, Crusadias? Because the thing about this, it's a level 4 trap monster, which is the main reason we played. You make Redoer with this, and it's got a non-targeting spin. But if they destroy it by battle, they take damage equal to the attack of the monster that destroyed it. So, you know, it's kind of an incentive for them not to destroy it. Or if nothing else, if they don't read very much, they're going to take a lot of damage, especially if they attack it with a high monster. Also, let me see. Yeah, if this is destroyed by battle, your opponent doesn't have to attack this. If need be, if like you're in a bad situation, you can summon this and then attack into stuff and inflict like 2,000, 3,000 damage. Just close out the game. Alright, we got Equimax. If it attacks, it does piercing damage. Okay, don't care. I take no damage this turn, because you activated Dark Ruler no more. Which means the only damage that's being taken is you, buddy. Unless you got something else you want to activate. Ah? Ooh, ah, what you want to do? Ooh, ah, I got a text message. Who could that be? No one important. Just an email. I get lots of emails. That's unfortunate. But you take a lot of damage, that's pretty neat. The question is, are they playing something that, Okay, so what we want to do is activate Manhunt now. I'm going to try to steal this. They have to tribute that off to prevent it. And then hopefully they can't make Avramax, which will actually be kind of difficult to deal with. Yep, there they go. Hopefully they don't. I think they've used all the Crusadias that you could possibly play. So we're pretty good, but they have no negate for the following turn. Unless one of these is a negate. And they're just stuck with a 2,000 monster. Just gotta make sure you don't summon anything in front of it, because it gains the attack of everything it points to. And it's got that one up-pointing arrow, which you don't want to deal with. And that way I'll be able to beat over it with 2,400. Smile. Let's see, what you got? Show me what you got. Nothing. So he comes back. And then during the standby phase, I can select a... Oh, it's only until the end of the turn? Well then, buddy. I'll be taking that. No Crusadia for you. Let's go ahead and equip. And they have surrendered. So there you go. Not the best showing of the deck, but kind of an interesting thing of, you know, how the advantage engine works. Despite summoning all these things and activating all these traps, we still have quite a few more. We had other things we could do. I'll save it for later. Not the best duel, but a win is a win is a win. So let's go to the second one and see if we can get a more interesting win. Alrighty then, here we are, the second duel versus Wesley. Hot off his tour of the far end of the galaxy. Hammer? Ah, they got me. Unfortunately, you really want to win rock, paper, scissors here. Oh, we would have such a good hand. Oh, we get to go first. Ooh, that's a good one. So we're going to start. We, of course, got Rescue Rabbit in dog form. Rescue Dog. Who, if you get Ash Blossomed, really sucks. But fortunately, we did not get Ash Blossomed, which means we can do all sorts of things. We can activate this. We can activate that. We're, of course, going to get our flyback, because we've already got the counter trap. We're, of course, going to send Temp Warler, so we can get back and recur our resources. Search every single turn. Always nice. Get this back. And then, we've got a trap monster ourselves, Shade Brigandine. And if you have no traps in the graveyard, you could summon it the same turn it's set. It has no other interesting effect, it's just a level 4, but because you can do that, that allows you to first turn make a redoer who has the non-targeting spin. Of course, now we're subject to Nibiru, but even if we get hit with Nibiru, well, one, this can tag out, because it has a monster equipped to it, so that's not getting Nibiru'd, it just loses its trap. But we have all these other disruptions, which is what I really love about this deck. In addition to being a mostly non-archetypal deck, it manages to, like, I think this represents 4 disruptions? 4 disruptions from my opponent. We didn't have to do some long, involved combo. Hey, we've got the Triumvirate. Just setting a card? Alright. Oof. I'm sorry, buddy. I think that's game. So we'll summon Statue of Anguish pattern. Trap monster. And it says anytime you summon a trap monster, blow up a card on the field. So we'll summon Azaroon. Summon that. Triggers this. Pop a card. So, like, we've got 1 card pop. We've got 1 shuffle negate. This can then tribute off the Anguish pattern in order to negate a summon. We've got a Spell Trap negate, and this is just extra, honestly. And since we've got a spell, we're just going to go ahead and detach one of the spells. You can take your Allure of Darkness. There you go. Just draw an extra card. Oh boy. So we'll normal summon this. And I believe that should be about game. It's not game. It's relatively close, but it's not quite game. What do I even want from this position? I think I'm going to take another one of her. If you normal summon or if you summon a Time Thief, she could special summon herself. So it's just like free real estate, you know? Just getting stuff out. Oh, actually, I could have had game now that I realize it. I don't know, I'm thinking this person might have Nibiru because it keeps waiting. Possibly. If they had Nibiru, I didn't want to extend, but there is a way I could extend. I think. I might have summoned this in the wrong zone now that I think about it. Let me... Oh, it's right here. 2 monsters. Negate their effects immediately. No, I could have... Okay, I could have done it. Unfortunate. But that's fine, because we've still got more than enough stuff. And yeah, we can make Zeus here if we want. I think what we're going to do is just make a Tornado Dragon. So if they happen to activate any spell traps, they're doomed. And we'll go ahead and set Solemn Judgment there. So this was a much better win as far as I got to show off how absolutely nutty this deck can be. Not the most back and forth battle. Granted, they still have a full hand, so maybe they could try to do stuff. But the fact that they had the Scapegoat, that's kind of like an old style card. It's something... Oh! Oh, 1 day of peace. Yeah, I'm gonna stop that because I want to end the game. We're gonna use our negate there. Nom nom nom. This negates spell traps and then attaches it to Redoer. Alright, Summoner Monk. Go for it. I'm interested in seeing what the hell he can make. What you gonna summon with your Summoner Monk? What you gonna do if you have the funk? Getting all down, running all around, creature swap. This is an old school deck. This is a man after my own heart. Wesley, Scorpion Burglars. When it inflicts damage, your opponent sends 1 spell card. Oh, and Hippo Carnival. They're going for the Jackpot 7 OTK. Gotcha. That's very tricky. I am going to have to Solemn Judgment the Shien Spy. Do I have the opponents? Jackpot 7, eh? Very tricky. Yeah, if you don't know, so... Dark Scorpion Burglars. If this card inflicts damage to your opponent sends 1 spell card from their deck to the graveyard. Jackpot 7 is a... Let's go ahead and detach. Jackpot 7 is a spell that says if your opponent banishes it, I believe. Oh no, if your opponent sends this... If this gets sent to the graveyard... Fuck, I don't remember the exact... Basically, your opponent's card effect has to send Jackpot 7 to the graveyard. And if there are 3 Jackpot 7s in the graveyard, you win the game. That were sent by that effect. So what they do is they summon burglars, they give it to you, and then there's, I believe it's attached to Redoer, so I can't see it, but there's a Hippo Carnival, which summons 3 0 attack tokens. And then you attack each token into the burglars, and since burglars would be on my field, Wesley gets to send 3 Jackpot 7s from his deck to the graveyard. It's like a 3-card combo, so not the most reliable thing, but when you can get it off, it's one of those super cheesy alternate win conditions that can take a lot of players by surprise. Not the most competitive thing against this, but neat to see it, someone trying to play it alive. Very interesting. Let's go ahead into the 3rd duel. So here we are, duel number 3 versus 1/2 of a duelist. Where's the other half? Only time will tell. Unfortunately, we're not going first. Fortunately, we seem to be playing insects. Oh yeah, there was a new archetype announced. I have not read anything about it, so we'll be learning this together. Target a bee trooper monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. It cannot attack this turn. Also, if you lose life points equal to its original attack, also you lose... Okay. If a face-up insect monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon a bee trooper token. Okay, so if I destroy this, he gets a token, and if this sends to the graveyard, he can get a level 5 or higher. So I can, like, set this, activate this, Shade Brigandine, response. When your opponent normally, you can special summon this from your hand. Unless they use this card as material. Well, that's something you don't see very often. Playing Contacting Sea. Alright. Well, that prevents me from doing things. Yeah, unfortunately, that just shuts off what I want to do. Well... Yeah, because I can only use each of these effects once per turn. So... Yeah, I guess what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to use these two. Make a Nightmare Phoenix. We'll discard 1 flyback, since we can't use it anyway, to destroy that. And then we'll just attack over this, so they're not getting a token. It's not the best, but it certainly exists. And then we just gotta hope next turn we can get something else going, because unfortunately, we have a lot of ways to make Redoer, but unless you have Redoer, these 2 cards are useless. During the main phase, you can target an insect in your graveyard and a monster in your opponent's graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, place the targets on the bottom of the deck. This is normal or special summoned, add a bee trooper. Okay, but I have no monsters in the graveyard because I used their monster and a trap. So we'll set this. We'll set this. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and set all 3, and hopefully they're not playing like Harpy's Feather Duster or something. We'll be good. We just don't want any monsters to exist, if possible. And we can steal them if they... Well, we're continuing the trend of, yes, we won. I'm not sure if we earned it. I'm not sure if we did anything. I think it was mostly someone just trying a new deck. And as always, I would like to point this out. You know, I'll even show it here, since I have some influence in the community. If you go to deck, there's a thing you can do called Test Hand, where you can get a handout and you can make combos and plays and stuff like that. If you want to test a deck, you can also test hand settings. If you want an opponent, if you want to not shuffle, so you want to start with specific cards, if you want like 2 or 3 cards in the deck, you could do that. And in this case, like, you know, if we've got the no shuffle opponents, like I can normal summon stuff, and then if I end my turn, I can control the opponent too. So if you need to test your deck, there's no reason to like go online and find other opponents and waste their time trying to learn combos. You can learn the combos here first. And even if you're like, oh, well, my deck relies on the opponent having stuff in the graveyard, how can I simulate that? You get to use the other deck. Monster needs a thing in the graveyard, you play their deck and just have it be like, there you go. Now you get a card in the graveyard. You're good. You can figure it out. So, public service announcement, if there's a new archetype, try this first. That way you don't waste your time, waste other people's time. And, yeah, let's go into the fourth duel. Alrighty, here we are, the fourth duel versus Zanji. I believe that's a one-piece character, if I'm not mistaken. We're going first. And we've got none of our trap monsters, which is unfortunate, because it means all we can make is a redoer who has a thing. And Effect Veiler, so we can't even do that. Yep, hand traps. This deck can be, I could activate that, but this negates it until the end of the turn. I learned that with Rescue Rabbit. Fortunately, it does other stuff if it does things, but yeah. This is one of the flaws of the deck, and one of the things that, I don't know, there's a lot of times where I make a deck, and I'm like, this has a lot of potential, but I only have 2 weeks for each deck, so I don't have the time to, like, sit there and lab it out for long periods of time. I pretty much get, like, 3 or 4 days of testing it between those 2 weeks with everything else I got going on. And this is one of those cases where, like, you know, when you open good, you get like four disruptions, and there's no combos or anything. You just got like an awesome setup. And when you don't get that hand, when you get all Time Thieves or all trap monsters, sometimes it can be a bad time. So I think there's a way, there's some kind of ratio you could make to optimize having the Time Thief engine that you need and the trap monster stuff. And I just don't have the time to crunch the numbers or figure it out or whatever. But I would love to see someone like Giant Skyhawk is the only name I could think of in the community, who like spends all his time labbing out fluffles and dinosaurs and more rogue decks, but like actually has a server that does the math. I don't know, maybe one of these days I'll go to a YCS and spend a month or whatever doing a deck. Just trying to learn it all the way through. That's one of those weird things about this show, you know, it's this, you're just on a time crunch. Times, mobile, yep. I think at this point I've probably already lost. If they're able to activate Engage more than once. Granted, they're not getting the extra draws off of it, so there's at least that. But they were able to activate Engage, and unless I get, like, they already have the Widow Anchor, too. Yeah, whatever, nerd, I don't care. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, unless I get specifically the Trap Monster, Shade Brigandine, that's the one I can summon. Oh wait, I can't summon it now because I have a trap in the graveyard. Yeah, I'm just screwed. Unfortunate. We finally get a worthy competitor, and the Effect Veiler just completely shut us down, sadly. And now they've got like 4 back row or whatever. At least one of those is a Widow Anchor. I got a Solemn, that could certainly stop some things. Let's summon this. Let's activate it. Who, ha, what you wanna do? Who, ha, what you gonna be? Interesting, they're gonna Widow Anchor here, just on the normal summon. And it's negated, yep, and that ends it. Unfortunate, we still can't get a good duel, but at least we lost one? It's not something I usually say. Let's go ahead into the 5th duel. I'll come back if anything happened, but I think we've just been out-resourced immediately by a combination of bad hands and hand traps. Hands all over, just not doing anything good. Alright then, here we are, the 5th duel versus Wallace. We did indeed lose that one. Ironically, they actually surrendered, but they surrendered in a position where I had nothing. So I think it might have just been like they messed up something. I don't know, hard to say. Either way, we've got a decent hand. We've got the ability to make Redoer. Redoer, always nice. Got our one of Beazle ship. Good for recurring things. When you get into a grind game, you can send it to the graveyard. But not very nice otherwise. Then we've got Solemn Judgment, that, and another Shade Brigandine. Unfortunately, we've got all the trap monsters, and none of the ones that do anything with it. So, show me that spell. I want a spell. Give it to me. Oh, looks like I got another trap. What did I get? Ah, the Solemn Warning. Betcha wanted that then, didn't you, Wallace? I'll have to call Gromit about this one. Oh, it's the time. Weather Painters. You can banish this card, add one weather from your deck to your hand. Do I want to get rid of that? I don't think I think I need to stop them from searching just like right off the bat. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and... Yeah, you know what? Let's get Basil Ship into the graveyard, too. Just shuffle that back into the deck. Not let them start their searches. Another one. You know what? I really don't want you to start these searches. Get out of here. Show me the third one. Show me the third canvas. No, you've got Weather Painter Rain. Attacking? Well, I know something that can block that. It's Tiki Curse. He has 1800 attack. And he's a level 4 trap monster, which is the main reason we play. Also, if another trap monster battles, this destroys anything that battled it. So you can get cool stuff that way. Okay. So we draw a card. Excellent. Standby phase. We're going to attach whatever we feel like. So we're going to get... Hey. Oh yeah, because his thing puts it on top, so now I have the canvas. Alright. Do I want to draw a card? Yeah, I think I'd rather draw a card. Let's go ahead and detach that, get a card going. Hacha. Ooh, flyback. Perfect. So let's normal summon this. Let's go ahead and activate this to get a dang old retrograde. And then I was thinking about using the, and they lost connection. What a surprise. Yeah, they were in some pretty good danger. So there's another Time Thief Ixie you can make with any 2 level 4s, and her effect is target another Time Thief Ixie and attach a card from the deck. So if I hadn't drawn Flyback, I was going to make her and just start attaching flybacks to this. So I would have had another shuffle back. I would have had a counter trap. And then because that wasn't there, what I could have done, let's just look at the old extra deck. You have this whole toolbox of things, right? So they didn't have enough to like OTK. I probably would have gone for either the Tornado Dragon to just keep them off of spell traps forever, or the Utopia the Lightning, because that allows me to, if you don't know about Weather Painters, their big thing is they have a battle trap that sends cards back to the hand. And Utopia the Lightning has a steamroller effect. It says you can't activate anything when it attacks. So once you get Utopia the Lightning on the field, you can just run over everything they have and not have to worry about it. So that, on top of the shuffle back, on top of the counter trap, you got quite a bit of disruption there. So we get another easy win. 5 duels in. We've yet to have a long back and forth duel that lasted more than a few turns, but I have hope. For now, though, I'll see you in the middle screen. Well, hello there. Welcome to the middle screen. I called it this time for some reason. I think I usually have a better name for it, but it's escaping my mind at the moment. But yeah, if you're unfamiliar with the show, this is where I take off my silly hat and show you my bald head, that I'm just a normal man who looks kind of ugly and not a fancy rich person, and be like, hey, you know, if you're enjoying the show, if you've made it this far, if you like the fact that I come up with these interesting, unique decks that, like, no one else on YouTube is playing, at least I don't think they are, I didn't search for it beforehand, but I'm pretty sure it's original, and if you like that about the channel, I would recommend joining the Patreon. There's a link down in the description to it, patreon.com/hardleggaming. Hopefully my editor will put it up there. And that's how I fund the channel. I use very minimal ads. It's like one ad every half hour. They're always the skippable kind. Because I hate ads, and I hate the big business-like sense that has come over YouTube in general. I prefer if it's something where it's like, yes, I have a small community that funds the channel because they like it, and I don't have to bow to outside pressure and do things I don't want to do. Things that might make the show more generic, more palatable to regular audiences or whatever. So if you enjoy that, consider giving me $1. A lot of people are like, all I have is $1. It's not much, but that $1 really does add up when a bunch of people give me dollars. It all works. Helps me afford my house and delicious water and gum. I have gum as well. And Hoggleslog. Do you know what Hoggleslog is? It's chocolate sprinkles that you put on bread. The Dutch eat it for breakfast. You get a little butter on some bread, sprinkle some chocolate on there. You learn these kind of facts because I'm sponsored by the Patreon, so check that out. And without further ado, let's get back into the duels. Alright, here we are, duel number 6 versus a very funny joke, it seems. Ha ha ha! JK and S. Unfortunately, we're not going first. Fortunately, anytime they set a monster, that bodes well for our ability to perform things. We got our one-of that's like a really good one-of. And we've got our very risky play that if any of those traps can stop this thing from doing the thing I want it to do, we're gonna be fucked. Let's try it. Show me potato salad. Well, at least I got to draw a card. That was neat. Let's set Solemn. Let's set this. Let's, we can't set everything. We don't have enough. Did I already set both my Tiki curses? Alright, well, let's just set everything. Your move, holy man. What can you do? What will you bring to the duel zone? Whoa, ho, ho, ho. Alright. Nothing, it seems. Statue of Anguish pattern. But in order to do anything, I need to... Okay. So we're going to summon Tiki Curse. Fun fact, trap monsters used to take up spell trap zones as well as monster zones. So if I did something like this, I wouldn't be able to use this zone. But now, in the year of our Lord, this one, I can do that. It's pretty neat. You know, let's go ahead and activate it. Let's get it on out here. Pasha. A shame to use what could have been 2 pops. Well, let's get the Time Thief redoer. Let's redo this time. In the extra monster zone. Because I feel like it. Ooh. Solemn Judgment, top solemn warning. I pay 4,000 to negate your 2,000. Now, if this is Morphing Jar, I'm going to be very sad. No, it's... You could special summon a Gusto Tuner from your deck. Alright. You got Gusto, kid. I'll give you that. Okay, Gusto Eagle. There's a very nice eagle you have there. It would be a shame if someone were to, I don't know, shuffle it into the deck. I mean, I have 2 of these. Might as well. We'll just put that back. I hear Gusto are getting new support. Perhaps they've already got new support. I could have done an extra... No, I couldn't have. No, I could have. I could have done an extra 1,800. But I wouldn't have had the pop. And I want to have the ability to pop stuff. Behold. The Dirt Spider. Standby phase? Yes, I will steal whatever you got on the top of your deck. Actually kind of want a monster now so I can tag out. No, I got a spell. Alright. This key, you can discard this card, whether a wind monster, add a wind. Yeah, that's fine. Do your thing. Have fun. Make it dynamic. What is this? Okay, discard, add. Yeah, I think I used this in my, what was it? Dragunities, because it searches wind monsters and all the Dragunities. Also, how come we got the wind medium, but we don't got the wind large or extra large? Things to consider. Alright, how about Imperial Order? I don't like sitting on floodgates, but if you're playing a deck that's all traps and no spells, you might as well. Especially if you got one more monster left. He cannot shuffle back face-down cards. They have to be face-up. But this can pop face-down cards, so unless this floated, you're going to be hit for 24, plus 18, plus whatever I draw, plus I get another draw because I can attach a spell, plus I could... I don't know. Other things, probably. We'll see. Either way, we get another win. Let's go into the 7th duel. Maybe it'll live up to the name, be the fightin' 7th. I love making these hand motions while I got a top hat. It makes me feel like an old-timey ruffian. Alright, here we are. This duel, the fightin' 7th versus Kanzaki. We get to go first again. We've got a pretty good hand. Let's go ahead and normal summon the Winder. Winder, of course, searches on summon, and Adjuster, if a Time Thief is summoned, can summon herself. You may also know this card is the one that sends stuff to the graveyard, but you can only use one effect per turn. So if you summon her using her effect, you can't then send stuff to the graveyard, unfortunately. So we're just going to be able to make a redoer out of 2 monsters. But we have the flyback, and we have this, and we have this. So this hand is three disruptions. 3 disruptions, and one of them is a continuing disruption that'll come back and do more stuff. So as soon as the standby phase starts, so we're gonna steal whatever your top card is, and we're gonna go ahead and summon Azaroon. And we might as well summon it in defense mode, right? Because it's got the same attack as defense. And then it wasn't a trap. Yeah, it was the Ash Blossom that they really wish they could have had. So let's use this and equip a trap. Just another flyback. There we go. So now we got Solemn Warning on legs. We've got a spin back. And if they want to try to, like, Raigeki this, we can negate that. And negating it will allow us to draw a card when we spin something back. So it's the best of all worlds. Oh. I think I want to keep you off of Necro Valley if you're playing it, so let's just go ahead and yoink that. Nope. Nom 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 nom. Gobbledy gobbledy gobbledy. Ooh, and now you can Prosperity and draw an extra card. Surely from those 6 cards you'll have some way to get into Necro Valley. Am I playing pure Gravekeepers? Are they going to try to keep my grave? Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. What do you got? Yep. Torrential. Counter taps and Torrential, and no way to get into Necro Valley. Necro Valley is on the field. You could special summon a fusion monster. Ooh, I really just need to keep them off of Necro Valley at any and all costs. Which means, yes, I will. And yeah, you know what? Because I'm not really worried about giving them anything. Let's just do that, shuffle it back. Let's just get it off the field so they can't potentially destroy it with anything. And there's the third one. They had 3 of them Three of them things. Okay, we know they're playing Torrential Tribute because they revealed the 2. What did they end up taking? Battle phase? Alright. So they're running over that, but when you destroy it by battle, it destroys the monster that destroyed it. So you're not going to be able to fusion summon. but he came back. Say Bill Wirtz reference. Okay, what do we get? Imperial Iron Wall. Neither player can banish cards. So I cannot dodge out of removal anymore. Dark Honest. How dishonest of you. Yeah, but that means I can't use my Time Thief flyback. So what's the punish here? If they have the Torrential Tribute, that's pretty much all my monsters. That's everything, and then they can kind of control the game from there. I think I'm going to play it safe and just attack for 2,400 for now. There we go. And we'll go ahead and do the Anguish pattern. We don't really need it. I could have Zeused. And then even if they had it, I could get rid of everything. I'll save that for next turn because I have the flyback. So we'll end our turn for now. And then, like, in the draw phase, we're going to activate flyback. We're going to attach one of the counter traps because it's the only trap I have left. And then immediately just shuffle that Necro Valley back, baby. You're not allowed to keep it. I don't like it. Standby phase, and they surrendered. Yeah, shuffle it back in the draw phase, and then during the standby phase, attach it as material. Even if you got your Commandant, you're not keeping the Necro Valley. It's attached to me now, buddy. Let's go to the 8th duel. Neat. We're gonna have a neat duel. A neat 8th duel. We lost the die roll, though, which means we may be in for a spot of bother. Going second with this deck, not good. Digital Pugs. I just released a thing for this. They can negate my dudes, and I don't like that. Especially, they're gonna have 2,800. Oh. Twin Bow, the attacker. So that means, basically, I'm not gonna be able to use Regulator. Because they'll just negate it. They'll just... Whoa, B-Troopers. Oh, they got new. Okay, you cannot special summon except for insects. During your main phase, you can normal summon an insect. If this is in your graveyard, you can banish the other insect, special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. Alright. Wow, they got combos now. So what are you gonna end on? Cicada King and, fucking... Registrator? Not Registrator. Scrabberator? Oh no, the B-Troopers have a link. While this link summon card has 3,000 or less attack, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by card effects. You cannot special summon except for insects. Tribute an insect, summon a B-Trooper from your deck. This card gains 2,000 attack until the end of this turn. While this card has 3,000 or less. Okay, so it can gain a bunch of attack, but then I can target everything. Or it can keep 3,000 and just be protected. Okay, bring that back. Do they have a bigger... Do they have like a link 5 or something? Question mark? Doing things? Seraphim Papyrel Operative, alright. Gains 200. If this card is link summon, quick effect, you can summon a level 4 or lower insect from your graveyard. Alright, but what disruptions are you going to have? Just a Cicada King. If the battle position of this card is changed, you can special when a monster on the field activates its effect, you can attach one material, the targeted monster negates its effect. Okay. So that's a 1,200. This can quick effect, remove one counter, summon a level 4 insect from the graveyard. All they have in there is B-Trooper. Special summon, alright. So if I just like set this, activate it, get me a monster on board. Okay, they're summoning the B-Trooper now. Pretty sure I can just run over this and then use the Time Thief guy to, like, shuffle this back Right? Pretty sure that's what I'm doing. It's like your only disruption, and I can just run it over by battle because you put it in attack mode. Unless you have some, like, hand trap that can like, shift this battle position. Uncertain? Let's attack this one. They can't be destroyed by card effects, but they can be destroyed by other stuff. Yeah, so there you go. And then main phase 2. Again, I could make Zeus, but I don't think I really need to. We'll just detach that. We'll shuffle that back. We'll set. We'll set. We'll set. Your move. And then during the standby phase, we'll take something. If we don't get a trap, we'll add a trap. You could summon another B Trooper if you wanted to. You have a whole bunch of 3s. Yep, okay. Cocoon Denser. Hold me closer, Cocoon Denser. Let the headlights on the highway. I really wish it would have let me do the things I wanted to do. That kind of sucks. Let's go ahead and do that, and we'll summon Azaroon while we're at it. There we go, and we'll equip a flyback. We'll fly on back to the other side. So we'll negate that. Off you go. B Trooper. So what is this again? When a monster on the field activates its effect, you can detach one material, target the monster, negate its effects, then make an insect, gain 500, or change its battle position. Okay, so they can negate the redoer. I don't think that's going to help them, though, because they don't have enough battle to get over it. Oddly enough, Scararderator would be a much better card in this situation. The Digital Bug Link 3. Because it has higher attack and it can shift my battle position. I don't know why they're not summoning this in defense mode. Oh. Oh. Hello there. During the main phase, quick effect, you can target an insect and a monster your opponent controls. It tributes on it. This card is normal summon. You can add one B Trooper spell trap from your deck to your hand. Alright. Sounds cool. You do you. B Trooper formation. Unfortunately, I've got a thing for that. Imperial Order. You know, if this wasn't Imperial Order, it would have been Solemn Judgment, or it would have been the Time Thief Trap, probably. No, I'm not gonna let you crash. I don't know who you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff. Get rid of that. Go back into the deck. I have whittled down your resources. Let's attach the top card of your deck, which is, of course, the B. Let's take 1,000. Okay, so what do we want to do here? Do they have spells in the graveyard? They do not. So, 24, yada yada. What would I make that would be better than this? I could do like 25, but that's not really worth... Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go to the battle phase. Going to attack. Get in for 2,400. It's neat. Then main phase 2, we're actually going to detach to shuffle off. Now that we control no monsters, we can summon Time Thief Regulator and use its effect. We can get this girl and that guy. Bada bingo, bada bango. Both their effects activate. There we go. So we can search the counter trap. This will send her to the graveyard. We can use her to get Rinder back into our hand so we can search the counter trap again next turn. And then we'll use these two to make Perpetua. And then we'll set 2. There we go. During the end phase, this comes back. End phase will activate her effect to target Redoer and equip our last flyback to him. And there you go. That's why this is a cool thing. Standby phase, attach the top card, sure. Monster, standby phase, she has effect as well. She can detach. Oh. I didn't think it was this effect. I guess I don't have any Time Thieves. No, I do have Time Thieves in the graveyard. Let's attach Beazle Ship so we can get it into circulation. Just doing everything during your standby phase. We'll detach that, summon her. And then she'll go ahead and send the butterfly-looking thing. There we go. So now we've got all our one-ofs in the graveyard where they belong, which means everything we're going to be searching or drawing from this point forward is going to be awesome. They surrendered. Yep, I did too many things. Yeah, I kind of passed by it. She has a quick effect to just detach one from the deck. And then during the standby phase, she can detach to summon a Time Thief from the graveyard, which can sometimes be useful. We have some other ones that get effects in the graveyard. Especially if you get into a more grindy game, having these two on the field is just awesome, because you can just keep restocking themselves. Also, this, what was it? This can attach a material to any Ixie monster. So if you get Utopia the Lightning, you can keep putting materials back onto it, and then keep boosting over to 10,000 or 5,000 as long as you keep Utopia equipped to it. It's pretty neat. But we haven't gotten to a grind game like that. Usually by turn 5 or whatever, we've just out-resourced them so completely that they have to play through like 3 or 4 disruptions with 2 cards, and it's not worth it. Either way, let's go into the 9th duel and see what awaits us in the future. Alright, here we are, the 9th duel versus Galita? Galita. Is this the Amerlin seat? Or the pretender to the throne? No, that's Galena. You people will figure about that if the Wheel of Time show ever becomes good. Oh no. Oh no, I'm playing against Burbs and they went first. I could stop them. I could stop them if I was going first, but unfortunately, they are going first. The good thing is, going first, they can't make Zeus. So that's good. The other thing is, I have a non-targeting shuffle into the deck, which means their ability to not be destroyed is of no use here. But all they gotta do is get one attack off. And then they're gonna have big old Zeus boy running around doing Zeusy things. I'm not liking that. Fortunately, we've got the regulator, so unless they've got hand traps on top of this, we should be able to get our big redoer. Get some stuff. We won't have a trap on him, though. Oh, we'll be able to search flyback. We'll be able to negate their spells, and we'll have a pop for all the good that it'll do us. I mean, I guess it'll get rid of Zeus. We'll have a way to get rid of Zeus when he comes out, if he comes out. Hopefully we want to keep Zeus from existing. Tribute, draw 2 cards instead of 1 for your next draw phase. Interesting. I guess that's good in the long run if you're going first or something. I haven't seen anyone play that. They're like, there's potential there, but giving up a card to get a card in the future. Usually you want to give up future cards to get cards now. That's why Reckless Greed is so good. Alright, you got 4. You're just going to, like, shuffle them all together? Are we going to get a truffle shuffle? No, they're making Ensemble Robin. I always forget about her. She's going to be tricky. If your opponent special summons monsters, target one of those. Okay, so they can send one back, but they can't send both. Interesting, just another recital. Oh, are you gonna make the big, giant, thingy-bob guy? Or are they still doing things? Cannot be targeted. Yep, I may not be able to play through this going first, or going second, unfortunately. Going first, I had some things. Going second, not so much. Just making funny mouth movements at this point because I'm pretty sure I have already lost the game. A sad state of affairs. I don't know what is theirs. Now that I'm thinking about it, a good side deck card would possibly be, what's it called? Evenly matched. That would be another trap to add here, because you don't really care about the battle phase all that much. Oh. Going for Utopic Future. Interesting. Wait, can you just put the dragon on top of that? I thought you had to make that with 3 Ixies. Oh, okay. Unfortunate. Well, I've got a Solemn, 1 card too late. What does this do? Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And if you activate a monster effect, so I need to have a spell trap that doesn't, I need Storming Mirror Force. Storming Mirror Force, help me! Okay. Normal summon this. I don't think you could do that because you can't steal it, right? No, it's negate that activation, and if the monster is on the field, then it's, welp. I have put people in this position before. I had 1 move, and I made it, and now that I can't make it, I'm just dead. I'm just a dead man, running around with my dead hands. Oh, whoa, whoa. Yeah, unfortunately, these count as monsters and traps. So, they can be negated by stuff that negates monster effects and stuff that negates spell traps. It's, yeah, and even if I had Solemn, like, Strike instead of Solemn Judgment, I could negate this, but it wouldn't destroy it. He could just detach 3 times. I'm more worried about this than Dragoon. I have ways to get over Dragoon. You could destroy Dragoon by, like, battle, you know? But this, not really. So, let's just go ahead, I'm counting this as a loss, and let's go to the 10th duel. Alrighty, here we are, the final duel versus Rakshas. Man, this Imperial Order just glued to my hand, just here to stay, just having fun. Having a dang old fun old time. Please don't hit me with the Ash Blossom. I would not like to be Ash Blossomed at the moment. Ugh. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and search, and then we'll chain block, which is fun. Oh, we already have it in our hand. Okay, if this card is in your graveyard, and it leaves the field, you could special summon it. Okay, we're going to send this then. And we're going to search... what do we need? We need flyback, right? Yeah, because we've already got these for spell traps, so we should be good. Flyback will allow us to get a trap on Redoer. And then we just set, and set, and set. So unfortunately, I named this Trap Monster Stun because it really is the interaction with the trap monsters that makes this so good. But, really probably should have marketed it as Time Thieves or something in retrospect. Because despite the way I saw it, it was a trap monster deck, and I was just using Redoer as, like, the boss monster. But yeah, I ended up just equipping everything to it, or just always making it every single time. And he's been a lot more useful than the trap monsters have. Flyback. That and Imperial Order Turbo. It's one of those things where a lot of people sometimes ask why I don't play Floodgates, and every once in a while I do, and it reinforces this fact that, like, when I play Floodgates, it makes the duels less interesting, because now I've turned off a large section of his deck. And it's like, what about trap monsters in particular made this such a good card? Ooh! Ah! Well then, should I solemn judgment that, or just... Yeah, you know what? Let's make it more interesting. You want to draw the cards, you want Imperial Order, you go for it, buddy. You have yourself a dang old time. It'll make this more exciting for everyone. Time for a game of disappearing cards. We've still got the solemn. We've still got the tag out, spin, draw combo. If you can call it that. It's just detaching 3 things. Doing stuff. Having a fun time. Oh, it's these guys. Oof. Yeah, so we can just solemn warning, or solemn judgment the synchro when they make one. That'll be half the life points, and then we won't want to tag out. No, we can make Zoma Spirit. That'll hopefully guard. How many summons can you reasonably make? Yep, I definitely want to solemn that. Get out of here. You got another one? You got another thing coming. Ooh, ah, ooh. It wasn't properly summoned. So you can bring that back, alright. Can't use the effect again, though, right? Reveal one Jing or worm card, and then summon a token. Okay. So I think this is the point where we want to just tag everything out. We just want to be like, boop, boop, and let's go ahead and do that and hope it doesn't come back to bite us. So back you go. You get a token. 0 attack. And that allows us, because a X-Sealed monster left the field, we can summon the Butterfly. The Butterfly is neat because you contribute it during the battle phase. And then the next damage that would be dealt to you is dealt to the opponent instead. So, like, I contribute this off, and then not only are my life points safe, but their life points are in danger. Although now they get to actually summon something, which might be bad for me. Baxtia. Target cards on the field up to the number of different attribute worms that were used for the synchro summon. Unfortunate. Haha? Okay, so now I might be just dead, unfortunately. Yep, I never should have allowed that Imperial Order to resolve. I forgot that Yang Zings had something like this. The real question is, can they extend even further beyond? Hey, they can destroy something and summon something? 23 plus 18, is that more? You haven't used this effect yet? Garbo! A sad state of affairs. Yeah, I guess I should have kept Redoer on there. Then I could have activated this. I really didn't think they could make like 4 synchro summons in one turn. Granted, I guess I don't know this very well. I wonder if this is like a meta. I don't know. I kind of like synchro decks these days, but something about these... I don't know if it's just like the art style of just being more warriors, or the fact that it's a bunch more... I don't know. It feels almost like I'm being bigoted to say, like, I don't like Chinese names. But after having a whole format of Virtual World where it's like Xingzheng and Shenzhen and stuff, it's just like, I can only speak so... It'd be the same thing if we had like a bunch of French archetypes in a row. Like, I would be sick of French, you know? Kind of like the same thing here. It's like, why are we getting another Chinese archetype so soon after the last one that also seems meta-relevant? Hard to say, but yeah, I tried to make an interesting duel, and I did not consider that perhaps they were playing a very, very powerful deck. So there we go. Let's go ahead to the end screen and we'll wrap things up here. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Trap Monster Stun 2021. We went 7-3. Granted, a lot of those wins were against decks that weren't all that powerful. Also granted, every deck we lost against was like either a meta contender or a future meta contender. I mean, I'm not so sure about that last one, but Lyrilusks, definitely. They're like 10 out of 10 deck, especially now that they have the new Utopic Future Dragon and everything. Sky Strikers, former meta competitive, still like arguably in the meta. So that should give you a pretty good idea of where this deck falls, right? If you're going against a meta deck, you're probably not going to stand much chance unless you go first, unless you get a really good hand. Against everything else, this can be brutally effective, like very, very strong. It's one of those things that kind of rides the line between being very high rogue tier and just being like a casual deck, which is really where I like to sit around, you know? Something that can do a lot of stuff, that has a lot of theory behind it, but isn't the most powerful deck on the planet. So hopefully you got to see something unique, something you don't see in Yu-Gi-Oh! All that much. I was gonna say thanks to a patron, because the last couple episodes have been patron requests, but this was not. I made this. Although I got to make it thanks to all the patrons. So thanks to all the patrons for supporting this. Next time, I think I have another request, though they still haven't gotten back to me, so I don't know what it is yet. I guess we'll see. And until then, good luck and have fun. Hey there, peoples. Before you shuffle off this mortal coil, allow me just a moment to thank all the patrons. This show really wouldn't be possible without them, and they're all awesome for helping. In particular, though, I'd like to thank those who donated $25 or more for the month of July. Their names are Davon Crushin, Tiberius Kane Moriarty, Yellow, Yami, Austin Glover, Chris W., Death's Dancer, Mark Jackson, Munchry, RPK96 Joestar, CD Games, Chris Kessler, Dancing Joker, Diotic, Matt, Muffin Fiend, Nathan, Nerozard22, Nightfang, Penumbra Eterna, Kirvin, Quintingent, Sean Griggs, Tayo no Kitsune, 329, and Trevor F. If you'd like to join them, the Patreon link should be on the screen and linked down in the description. Even as little as $1 really helps, and I would certainly appreciate it. Regardless, thanks for watching all the way to the end, and until next time, stay frosty, Legos.